Have you noticed that there's a lot more people in your honey hole that haven't been there before? Well, it's likely not due to just an increase in fishermen, but due to technology. Don't you love technology? I mean, we all love it until some jabroni catches some monster bass in your honey hole and then posts it for 14 freaking million people to see. Now, you might have varying opinions on gill grabbing, spot burning, all that stuff. And what used to be done like out of relationship, like, hey, I'll take you to my honey hole. And next time we go out, hey, we'll go to your honey hole, has now accelerated at an incredible rate of speed. And it's not accelerating because someone looked in the reflection of your sunglasses and figured out where you were fishing. It's happening through fishing apps. And the biggest culprit of all, Fishbrain. Now, you might be an angler that's like, hey, I don't have to worry about this. I've never downloaded a fishing app in my entire life. Well, that doesn't mean that your fishing spot is safe, because all it takes is a few nice catches, a couple uploads, and what used to be your home away from home is now like rush hour in New York City, because every year 55 million people fish, and out of those 55 million people, 14 million of them downloaded Fishbrain. Now, the app does a lot of cool things. My personal favorite is the delete button, like get this app off my phone, but there are some things it does out there that are kind of neat, so let me walk you through this. One, it does fishing regulations. It's gonna let you know your bag limits, open seasons, measurement rules, and more. You can log your catches, which is kind of cool. You can track your species, your date and time, your lures that you're using, the size, location, water, gear used, weather, and of course, a photo of your catch. It also has depth maps of the places that you're fishing, contour lines, underwater structure. It's kind of neat. You can also track your waypoints, and of course they have a fishing forecast. I mean, with 14 million verified catches, they start mapping this out and kind of generating 7-day forecasts. And this is like for all different species. And then we have the freaking 14,000 pound gorilla in the room, fishing spots. There has been 14 million catches uploaded on Fishbrain. Now, of course, if you go onto the website, it's going to tell you that you have 100% control over whether or not you can share these or not. You can hide them. The problem is not that you can't control your data, it's the fact that you can't control all the other jabronis out there posting these things left and right. But I can't do anything about that. Free freaking country, and I love it. So in my opinion, this platform exists for three people. You got your flexers, right? I mean, who doesn't like to post a giant fish for everybody to see? So I get it. I take photos of my fish all the time. Then you have your loggers. You're just people who are looking to log their fish and keep like a record of it. And it's actually a really good platform if you use it just for that. Then you have your opportunists, right? These are the people who prey on the flexers and are on there looking, trying to look into the background of your photos, trying to figure out where the big ones are caught in that particular lake. And so when you post these on there, the next Saturday morning, you're elbow to elbow on the bank, or kayak to kayak, or boat to boat, because someone recently caught a giant fish in that area. So I used to have the Fishbrain app like years ago, and I know exactly what you do. You get on the app, and then you go to the lakes that you fish, and then you start looking at all the photos and try to find the biggest fish, and try to find the concentration of the biggest fish. And so you're going through all these photos, looking in the background, trying to figure out, okay, this is where I'm going to go, which is probably the honey holes on that particular body of water. So I guess I know what I am. I am an opportunist. I wasn't even thinking about what I was doing. It's just automatically like, oh, this is what this app exists to do. So if you use Fishbrain, let me know. Are you a flexer? Come on, be honest. Are you a logger, or are you an opportunist? I really want to hear your comments below, so let me know. The crazy thing about this, you might not even know it's happening. Say you have this honey hole, you've been going to it for 20 years, you're home away from home, you catch absolute donkeys. Then you have someone that comes in, catches a giant donkey, and then advertises it to 14 million people. You don't even know that this is happening in the background unless you download the app and kind of check it out. I don't know if you noticed, but younger generation and basically all people, they want results and they want it fast. And what used to be done through like relationships and deep and public forums at the local bait shop is now accelerated through fishing apps. And that train is picking up speed, and there's 14 million passengers, and the next stop could be your honey hole. Now, I know that this is not the only app that does this, which actually exacerbates the problem in my opinion. And I have a YouTube channel. Like, I love showing you the how, the who, the lures, kind of dialing in, you know, like how to catch a fish. But when it steps over the line for me is showing you the where, because fish get real skittish really fast when the pressure increases in a particular spot. So here's my thoughts on this. I would love to hear your thoughts on it below, but I don't believe you're evolving as an angler when you are an opportunist on fishing apps. You are trading what I believe to be short-term gains for long-term losses. And I know you can make the argument that if you're gill grabbing out there and you're kind of opportunist, trying to find out where they are, it's going to help you become a better angler. But I don't believe it does that, because I believe you become a better angler by deductive reasoning. Knowing where the bass are not is just as important as knowing where the bass are. And if all you know are 5 spots on Fishbrain, well, those spots are going to get burned really fast. Those fish are going to get skittish, and then you're going to be right back where you started. Your short-term gain will become a long-term loss because you didn't want to put in the work. However, if you put in the work, your short-term losses will end up being your long-term gains. And then it won't matter what body of water you can hit, because you can go to any body of water and use your combination, the aggregation of all your successes and all your failures to pick up bass consistently. You won't be just limited to a hot spot on an app. And here's the thing, a lot of times you might be on a snipe hunt anyways. Have you ever gone to one of those apps? A lot of people tag fish in the wrong places on purpose. You'll see fish that are tagged in the middle of the lake. When you see the photo, they're obviously on the banks. People are tagging tuna in the middle of Ohio. It's kind of comical. I've done this in the past. I actually had to go back on to Fishbrain. I was like, what in the world was I doing back then? I was actually posting fish, doing what I don't believe right now. So I had to go back and like delete all the fish that I posted in the past. And I didn't do it just for my sake. I did it for others who may call that lake their home lake. And I often get asked a lot, hey, where did you catch that from? And I have a policy, like, I share everything I know except that. Okay, hashtag never fish and tell. I would love to hear your opinions on this as well. Please let me know in the comments below. And if you like this video, you're really gonna like this one, where people are actually selling their fishing spots, sometimes for up to $500,000. Is your honey hole for sale? Check that video out right there.